We are now going into the 5th year that we have not essentially been able to access the public market. Diane Scipione in September of 2003 sent an email that disclosed the fact that we were making material misrepresentations in our offering document for a $500 million plus offering that we were making in connection with wastewater. There is and remains the fundamental problem of a pension plan that has liabilities of $6.844 billion. That's what the present value of future benefits are. And so now we're in the position of essentially having to describe to the public that we have this massive debt, and we have to make sure that we do it in a way that we don't fall back into the same mistakes that we made before. We do not have an operative contract with the actuary, and we haven't for 8 months. We have repeatedly tried to get the council president to consummate that. That was not done. So that becomes very problematic, because then you have to ask, why is there such a reluctance? Is it because of the what I consider to be pretext that there's problems with the contract, or is it because there is a desire not to have the actuary do the job? So we do not currently have an actuary, and so that is a very serious concern to me, because if in fact we were to go forward and the record would be, well, did you have an actuary, your independent actuary, and you really don't have one? So I think the solution to that problem is to get the actuary retained, as we are impliedly representing. You don't go 8 months. If you really want to get something done, I saw how the council, when the council wants to get something done, when they want to retain, another kind of expert, they certainly don't wait 8 months to do it. The voting control of the DPWG, the Disclosures Working Group, has now been transferred to the mayor. That is directly in conflict with what Vincent and Elkins recommended at the onset, putting the authority to oversee the disclosure process back into the hands of the people that are proposing the offering. And that is the heart and soul of what we told the SEC we would not do. And I think that's a mistake, because that goes back on a specific representation that we made to the SEC. This is an example of the sort of thing that I'm talking about. We just got the actuarial report from SD Sears for 2007. That came out a Friday after the Monday that Macias and Jeannie was here. I asked them if that would be available. They had not seen it, apparently, and it was released that Friday. So we review the actuarial report, and we find out that they have altered the way in which the actuary reports information in important ways. They leave out the employee contribution numbers. They leave out what the drop reserve is. They leave out the breakdown of book value of assets. They leave out the breakdown of annual system cash flows by category. They leave out the breakdown of additional liabilities. They leave out the breakdown of normal cost rate by decrement. They provide no alternatives to amortization method, only to investment returns. And those are all things that had previously been in the earlier actuarial reports that had been done by Chiron. So Mr. Chairman, so one of the things that we're operating off of now is an actuarial report that is incomplete. We requested that information from SD Sears. They've declined to provide it to us. Now, if before DPWG, some of us take the position that there is a need to disclose that critical information, and the mayor's office doesn't control the actual vote, then it stays at DPWG until it gets resolved. What I'm concerned about is that cleansing effect, that restraint, that check and balance, by turning the control of DPWG over to the mayor and then saying we're going to take the disputes to the audit committee, you now have fundamentally changed the protection that you had built into it. But it concerns me that this information does not seem to be of concern. It seems to be suggesting that the kinds of lack of controls that we've had problems with in the past are continuing.